This is truly one of my favorite mantras of all the mantras. I mean, I have a lot of favorites, but Apsahai Hoa really is just, one of like it's in the top, but and that's because it does everything. It's very special. It really does everything. It blocks animosity, melts the enemies like ice cream. It provides this real spiritual, grand, infinite protection. Okay, so this putting a force field of protection around you is not a bad thing to do, not a bad thing to have going on this time or any time. But just ultimately protecting you also from yourself. Okay. Enemies, melting enemies like ice cream, enemies, you're your only enemy. You have no outside external enemies. Any external enemy you may have is simply a reflection of an enemy within. Okay. So the melting enemies like ice cream, and that is truly the you're literally obliterating your own internal enemies. And what's an enemy? An internal enemy is any way you are holding limiting beliefs, assumptions, doubts, past experience, holding yourself down back in any way, so that you're not able to experience what you actually desire to experience. So it just takes care of it. It takes care of it for you. That's what the mantras do. It also gives you, it's also a creativity mantra. It's also a prosperity mantra. And ultimately, prosperity is not just wealth and money, although it is also wealth and money. But prosperity is just anything you want to have an experience. That's prosperity. So you experiencing and having the things you want to have and experience, that's prosperity. So any mantra, every single mantra gives you prosperity. And what is that? Like, how is that? How is that a mantra is going to bring opportunities, bring wealth, bring money, bring love, bring joy, bring creativity, bring all these good things, all these blessings into your life? Well, what we're working on in Master of the Space and have been is this being this identity of infinity where we're understanding that nothing that we experience in our realm actually comes from the outside. Nothing actually comes outside in. Everything is inside out. Everything's inside out. So we're not drawing in per se. We're not like, yes, there's energy of the moon. We're not drawing it in from outside per se. Okay, so that's sort of like we think we're drawing something in, but what we're doing is this thing's available and we're activating that part of us that already exists within, that is connected to it, that is all that is, because we're God and God is all that is. And so we're a creation of God and we're all that is. So we're activating that energy that's already in us. So we're not really pulling something from outside. We're pulling it from inside. Okay. So, because we are the planets, we are the cosmos, we're every sign, we're every planet, we're all the moon, we're the sun, we're the stars, we're all of that. So this high frequency, this high vibration, we're generating it from within, we're connecting to it from without, and then we're creating this external experience in the physical realm. So prosperity, wealth, anything that the mantras do, and they all do this. Now they each have their own little magic about them. There's mantras that you can use for different things, but in the end, they're all going to do it for you. So you could just pick one, and that's the one that's going to do it all for you. But of course, they all have, like, there's different powers and there's different things. It's a code. It's a code that we're installing from the tongue to the roof of the mouth into the brain, into the hypothalamus, the thalamus, the pineal, the pituitary. It secretes into the system. And this particular code that we're installing that's like doing something in the brain is then activating something within us that then what does not only becomes, you become this vibration that then can reflect that in the external experience, but you're also simultaneously reorganizing the thoughts, beliefs, assumptions, and the identity that only sees it in a small, perceived, limited way. It's opening up the perception so that we can see more because everything's already there, but you can only see based on your beliefs, assumptions, identity, dominant thoughts, how you are, how you see things, how you view things, and what you're basing your lens on, the lens of what you're seeing as, who you're seeing as, the identity you're seeing as. So why not be the identity that's absolutely is the infinite and sees the infinite and just decides. And until you actually can see it differently, you just decide to see it differently. And you chant the mantra, and the mantra goes in the back end and it's installing all these things into the system so that you just open up. And when you open up, it's not so much that something comes in, but you open up and you see things you've never seen before. But you didn't do anything externally, but everything shifted internally.